Aries, welcome to your reading for the week of October 10th. This week, make sure to check out astrojar.com. We're still adding more readers to Astrojar and fixing a bunch of things on the site, so definitely check that out if you haven't. There are a bunch of new people on the site and a bunch of great readers that you could also watch and get readings from as well, so definitely check out Astrojar. But let's see what is going on for you this week. This week, maybe thinking about travel comes up here quite a bit, and even also possibly moving as well. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, and possibly, having to deal with some disappointments. I think that came up last week, so maybe you're still dealing with these disappointments or, something along those lines. But let's see what happens when we get into it here. You start off with the Four of Hearts. Great card for travel and thinking about traveling. So if you're planning on traveling or even planning on moving, it's a great card. I would say mostly at this point, if you haven't already moved, this is mostly, for most of you, a card of planning. Like I said, I think you're just thinking about all these possibilities of travel and things like that. Also just came in here about traveling somewhere next year as well. Maybe some of you are planning like a late honeymoon or something like that. Kind of a random message that popped in there, so that might be important for someone. But this says that will go well, so it's a great card to have for planning vacations and things like that. Also a card of commitments. I'm also getting that if you've been having any difficulties in your marriage or relationships, or even just getting commitments from people in general outside of relationships, you could see this week how just commitments go a little bit better for you, where people seem to actually come through this week a little bit better than maybe they have been. Maybe there's been kind of a disconnect, and maybe that's where these disappointments are coming in from, is disappointments around friends and things like that, not following through with things that they say they're going to follow through with and things. Next, you have the Eight of Diamonds. Great card out there for those of you who are entrepreneurs. This is the card of the entrepreneur, card of the business owner, and the card of making more money. So a lot of you could see more money coming in this week, which would be nice. It's a card of prosperity, growth, abundance. Great if you're selling anything as well. If you're selling like a home or a business or something, or you're just a salesperson, it's a great card for that. And yeah, a great card of just more money coming in. So happy to see that. Also can kind of loosely represent travel as well. So travel definitely seems to be highlighted for most of you this week. I think it could be very important for a lot of you this week, to go travel and things like that. And it can also, because, eight sometimes can come up when we need to take like a little bit of a break. So maybe some of you need a break and just need a vacation or something like that as well. Next, you have the Seven of Hearts. Seven of Hearts can represent having doubts and just having some doubts in general. Could be just in general. Again, it could be about anything, work, business. Just because it's a hearts card doesn't mean it's doubts about love. Could be doubts about, any one of those things. It can also represent a quick relationship. I'm definitely feeling that for a lot of you, although I don't see you being too overly disappointed about it if that happens. So a lot of you could maybe get into a relationship this week, but maybe it just doesn't last and it's just really fast. But I also think that you'll look at it as just kind of like a fun thing and just like something that you did and really not that big of a deal. Next, you have the Nine of Spades. Again, I feel like some of you are holding on to a disappointment. It seems like the messages coming in too is it seems like it's mostly a friend for for a majority of you that you're disappointed in or disappointed with. Maybe they fell through on something, and I'm kind of getting that you just need to let it go, really, in a lot of ways. And there's going to be no apology or anything like that. So again, I know that kind of stinks. That really maybe you're expecting an apology for something, or you're expecting some sort of repayment or something from somebody, or it could even be a spouse as well. And again, it seems like you're expecting some sort of apology. I just don't think you're going to get it. So it's kind of like you do have a decision to make here, and it's funny because it's followed up by the Seven of Spades. So it very much feels like there's a decision you have to make about a disappointment that's recently happened to you. It's like either you're going to hold on to it and let it bring you down, or you're just going to let it go. So it's that type of disappointment. And the other thing that you could choose to do too is you could choose to talk to the person as well and be like, this really, really upset me. What do you have to say about that? But just know that their answer may be a disappointment as well. And, I think it's important to know also that it's like one of those things where this could be a really good friend for some of you that this could be surrounding. So, just be careful with what you say if you don't want to lose that person. And be careful with the confrontation. And again, it's like one of those things. It just seems like with this 9, the 7, it seems like you saw a situation one way, they saw it another, and there just is going to be no middle ground here. So it's like either you let it go or it turns into something it doesn't need to. Next, you have the Five of Hearts. Five of Hearts is a card that can represent jealousy and dealing with workplace jealousy. I always say this card I feel like it comes up a lot for you, Aries, and it can definitely be a card that can affect us, but it's usually like good jealousy. I say it's kind of like you get a raise over everybody else, and people are disappointed, or you get a promotion or something that nobody else gets. So it could be that, and again, this can be a card of needing to kind of do all those things that I said about needing to watch it with friends and deciding like, is a friendship really worth it to you or not, and like how are you going to handle a situation. But it can also be a card of a birth of a relationship and starting anew, so it's a very good card for rebirth as well. But looks like a great week, so thank you for watching and enjoy your week.